Before I proceed with this video, I understand that some of you probably just want to skip ahead to certain skins that interest you. So if you were to take a look in the description, scroll down, you'll see I have provided chapters. If you wish to skip ahead, I have provided the option to you. And with that, good day, Ruskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright, because it's time for Christmas skins, yes. Now, with today's video, it's going to be different. I'm not going to have my own collection link. That's not going to happen. The reason why is because there's one big collection right here. That's the official list produced by that German guy known as TTG. And as you can see, there's 193 skins. But the reason why I avoided making my own collection is because I don't want it to conflict with this and cause people to get confused with what's going on and whatnot. So yes, I'm going to link this collection at the very top of the description. But with every skin that I'm going to show off today, I'm also going to get their specific workshop pages as well. I'm going to put them in order with the chapters. You get the idea. Just look in the description. It's all there. All right, then. Cool. So with that, I just want to also point out, on Thursday this week, we will be getting a Christmas rush store. But on the 16th of December, so that's next Monday, that's when the actual Christmas update is going to be implemented. So we very likely will just see Christmas skins for week 1, which is this Thursday, but we're not going to probably see the items until next Monday. We shall see. That's what happened with Halloween. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens all over again. Cool. Right then, so shall we proceed to talk about interesting collection continuations that I've noticed in this big fat batch of 193 skins. Yes, there's a lot of skins here. I'm not going to go through all of them, showcasing every single one of them. You could go do that in your own time. But I just want to point out, I warned you, I knew there was going to be tons of backpacks. 21 individual designs for backpacks this year. How many of them are going to be accepted? We shall see. But as we scroll down, the very first skin that I'll be talking about today happens to be a wooden door, and it is a collection continuation from the ever so tasty Christmas themed bearskin rug from the previous year. You may recall Spinoza made that very nice gingerbread bearskin rug. Well, for this year, he's made a continuation. He has produced a very tasty looking wooden door right here. But you know what? We need to get a much better look at it, don't we? So let's go hop into here. Hello, tasty looking gingerbread. Get a good look at that. So as we spin around, you can see it's obviously a little bit different behind. But yeah, it is what it is. It's got a lovely bit of icing on it. A lovely, cute little design. Snap. This does not glow in the dark at all, as you can clearly see. So snap. Do you like what you see? And if that were to be accepted, would it potentially cause the gingerbread bearskin rug to potentially spike demand, spike in price? I don't think so. But hey, we can keep an eye out for it. Regardless, if you like what you see, why not consider showing some support to the skin creator? And with that, now we will go ahead and talk about the next skin. Next up, we have the Winter Spirit sheet metal door. You may recall that last year, Slanosta produced a very nice looking garage door. Well, now we have just a single sheet metal door to take a look at, and as you can see, it's looking perfectly fine. Look at the shine from the sunlight right over there. A lovely little neon design. And of course, you're probably wondering, does it glow in the dark? Oh, come on now. It's a neon glow-in-the-dark door. What do you expect? So yes, a lovely, interesting-looking design. But if we were to see this being accepted, do you reckon this would cause the garage door to potentially spike in demand, spike in price? I would look forward to it, because I have seen the price of the garage door. It's currently sitting around half the price it sold for last year. So, hey, we shall see. I did kind of bring this up with a recent Christmas video where I talked about, is it a good time to consider selling your skins now? Just wait until the first Christmas rush store, I'd say. See what gets accepted, and if we do see some interesting collection continuations, yeah, some of the last year's or previous year's Christmas skins very likely might get bought out simply because a new skin was produced. Right then, so shall we now move ahead and talk about the next skin? Next up, we have a garage door, the Christmas Frozen garage door to be precise, produced by Sod Sender and Candytron. You may recall about 2 years ago we did see a sheet metal door being accepted. Yes, of course, this garage door is a collection continuation of that, so let's go ahead and give this a good look in-game. And as you can see, you got a lovely bit of snow on the sides there, a lovely little bit of bump mapping, a lovely bit of neon design, oh yes indeed. Not super reflective it seems, so let's go ahead and turn off the lights. And as you can see, it happens to glow in the dark ever so nicely, but with total darkness, stands out a little bit brighter. Oh yeah, that's looking very nice and very cool. Now, if that were to be accepted, would the sheet metal door potentially improve? That sheet metal door hasn't really been going up in price at all, even in anticipation for Christmas. Sheet metal door skins just don't really tend to be very nice investments anymore. But with the acceptance, I would like to see a nice bit of change. I've informed you of its predecessor. If this were to be accepted, maybe you might want to consider looking to buy the sheet metal door as well. And with that, let's now proceed to talk about the next skin. Did you think we had enough sheet metal double doors this year? Well, I'm sorry to say, but it looks like we might be getting another one. As you can see here, Neon Snowflake sheet metal double door has been produced, and you may recall in previous years, with 2023 and 2022, we saw the large box being accepted and the garage door. Now, I do want to bring this up. When the large box was accepted, that garage door basically doubled in price. It spiked very nicely back in Christmas of 2023. So will we see potentially the same thing happening with the arrival of the sheet metal double door, if it were to be accepted? Something for you to consider, but of course with this particular video, we're here to showcase the sheet metal double door. And with that, good day, Neon Snowflake sheet metal double door. That's on display ever so nicely. Nice and reflective with the sunlight. Very cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at it at night time. Snap. Right, so with the lighting, you can see it does reflect a little bit more. Looking quite nice. But of course, we want to see what it looks like in total darkness. So with that, tap. And yes, it's ever so nice and bright. Do you like what you see? And with me informing you, pointing out that there's a garage door and a large box from previous years, maybe you might want to go buy the full collection, if this was to be accepted. So we'll see. But with the amount of sheet metal double doors being accepted this year, I kind of wouldn't be surprised. Right then, let's now proceed to talk about the next skin. Now, we really shouldn't be surprised to see something like this. Yes, Mr. FaZe has returned with yet another gingerbread door. What do you mean? Well, if you go look at this collection here, he's been quite successful with many acceptances in the past. Sheet metal door, sheet metal double door, garage door, and wooden double door. Now, for this particular year, I do want to bring something up because I'm sure many of you are well aware of it. He produced this year, but when you make a double door, you're basically making one single door skin, and then you're just like flipping it, and then you have two doors. You might have seen that there is also a single armoured door. I've spoken to him to try and figure out what's going on. He said he's actually intending for this to be his skin for the year, and he just put this out because he's going to resubmit it later for, next year's Christmas to be that year's skin. So if you're confused about that armoured door, that's what he's intending to do. I think that will probably be removed from the Christmas 2024 batch. We shall see. But yeah, that was his intention, so I spoke to him. So we're only going to look at the armoured double door. And with that, as you can see, right in front of us, we have a very tasty looking gingerbread armoured double door. Oh yes, ever so nice and exquisite. Is it frosting? Is it snow? Well, you tell me. Right down below in the comment section. And with that, tap, snap. And oh yeah, very nice bit of glow. Quite literally as if you're standing outside, looking on the inside, wanting to eat all those gingerbread people. And yet, on the other side, yep, the exact same design. So yeah, do you like what you see? That is the last door skin that will be shown off in this video. I'd love for you to comment below what you thought was your most favourite one, and are you considering buying more of their collections? And so that, let's now talk about the next skin. Next up, we have a sleeping bag to showcase to you, produced by and Gunya. You may recall last year we had an interesting little furnace, as you can see right there in the image. That was called the Wrapped Furnace, if I can recall. Now, in the workshop, it was called Bad Gift Furnace, and this collection is referred to as the Gift Collection. So, let's go ahead and take a look at that sleeping bag. And as you can see, it's got a lovely little stitch design, wrapped up in Christmas lights, very nice and festive. It's got a little bit of snow on the side, but the actual pillow, it's made of candy and sweets. Oh, what a sweet, delicious Christmas this would be. So, I'm sure many of you now want to go ahead and take a look at it at night time. Snap, tap, and what do you see? A very bright looking sleeping bag. Is this something you're going to appreciate inside your base? Well, if you ain't got electric set up, if you haven't got a fire set up, yeah, maybe, probably. Right then, so, if that to be accepted, snap, will that cause the furnace to potentially spike in price? I don't think the furnace is holding up very well at the moment, especially as we've got closer and closer to Christmas time. But at the very least, maybe more people will be aware of it. Maybe it might get a little bit more recognition. But for now, do you like what you see? Feel free to comment below. And now let's move ahead and continue with talking about the next skin. Next up, we have a very festive large box right here in front of us, and I'm not surprised to see this. It's Epic. Every seasonal holiday that we have, Epic's producing some sort of skin in relation to it. So last year, throughout all of 2023, we had the spring small box, we had the Halloween small box, and of course we had the Christmas small box. All three of those were accepted. Earlier this year, what did we see? Easter large box. We had the Halloween large box, and right now, right here in front of us, Christmas neon large box, right here in front of us. So if I could just quickly show you his history. There you go, Christmas large box, spooky neon large box, Easter neon large box, and last year, Christmas, Halloween, Easter. So I wonder what he's going to produce next year. What would you expect? furnace, door, rug, chair, water purifier. Well, we'll have to talk about that for another time, but for now I need to show off this large box skin. So as we hop in game, as you can see, it's a perfectly fine looking neon design, lots of snowflakes, trees, gifts. It's very colourful, it's got snowflakes, but of course you're probably wondering, how does it look at night time? Come on now, you know exactly how it's going to look at night time. Bright and neon. Yes, it stands out very brightly, ever so nicely. So yes, is this something that you'd like to add to your lovely little Christmas base? Feel free to consider showing your support to it. Feel free to comment below if you like what you see. But again, comment below what you reckon they should do for the next batch of deplorable skins, because I can't help but assume we'll be seeing another batch of these next year. And with that, let's now proceed to talk about the next skin. Alright, so last year, do you remember that very cool looking fridge which looked like a snow globe with the transparency? Collection continuation right here. We have an absolutely awesome looking locker skin to showcase to you. Now, do we have the image of both of those deplorables side by side? Yep, you may recall the fridge right there. Now that sold quite a lot, and it's done a very good job of retaining its value and going up in price in the lead up to Christmas time. But we're here to talk specifically about the locker. So, Cubist, Evixara, I just gotta sit here and say, it looks nice. This right here, that is a splendid looking sequel. On the inside, you can see the tree. Yep. It's got all this like frosted pattern design as well on these, well, I guess you could call them window panelings. But yeah, a very nice bit of shine there with the metallic trim. All right. Yeah. Now, of course, you're probably wondering, Hedge, does it glow in the dark? Oh, yes, indeed it does. Yeah, good look at that. Very bright, very cool, and it makes those trees stand out ever so nicely on the inside. So, are you a fan of what you see? Do you like it? Feel free to comment below. I wonder what they do for next year. What could they do to kind of emulate the snow globe design? Well, you can think on that, but I want to talk about the next skin. Alright, now it's time to showcase a furnace. Now, you might not be fully aware, but this Ice Vortex collection has been quite good over the past couple of years. We had a satchel charge being accepted a good couple of years back. Last year, we had the Ice Vortex garage door being accepted, but now, for the submission for this year from Mr. Shedmon, we have the Ice Vortex Furnace. And as we hop over to here, get a good look at that. Wrapped around in various Christmas lights, a lovely frosted, ice-cold, snowy design. It's a very unhappy looking snowman. We should clarify that. He doesn't look very happy. He looks a little bit grumpy. Poor guy. Well, it's, you know, it's got like he's on fire. So anyway, snap. And of course, tap. Get a good look at that. It stands out quite nicely. Yes. The Christmas lights all on display, lighting up very nicely. Alright, so would you like to have this in your base? Would that put you in the festive mood? He's still looking pretty grumpy though, just going to point that out. He does still look a bit grumpy. Alright then, so if that were to be accepted with the garage door, would the satchel charge probably spike in price? Well, not 100% sure, but at the very least, it's a perfectly fine looking furnace skin, and I wouldn't be surprised if something like that gets accepted. So, that's all the deplorables for this video. Let's now move on and talk about the weapons and the tools. So the first thing to show for the weapons and tools is this jackhammer produced by Algorithm. Now, you may recall, I think it was last year, we got the Gingerbread Thompson, also, of course, produced by Algorithm. So, this is, in fact, a collection continuation. Now, jackhammers, there's been an interesting little detail that I just recalled. Basically, throughout all of 2024, we have not had a marketable jackhammer being accepted in a rust store. We've had 2 Twitch drops, but no marketable jackhammer. So, as we take a look at this in-game, give it a good look. It's ever so sweet, delicious looking design. Icing on top with candy sprinkled in. The gingerbread holding it all together with a lovely bit of chocolate as well. What do you reckon? If this was to be accepted in a rust store, would it actually work out quite nicely? Simply due to the fact that we just don't get that many jackhammers in rust stores anymore. Feel free to comment below. Now, of course, I think some of you may want me to take a look at this, you know, up close. So, does it glow in the dark? Number 1. Doesn't appear to. Nope. Snap. Seems to be a perfectly fine looking jackhammer skin. Let me just move the sun around to get a little bit better lighting. As you can see, it looks totally fine. And of course, so yeah, I would like to see a jackhammer skin being accepted in a rust store. What do you think? Is this perfectly befitting of Christmas time? Let's see. But with that, let's now proceed to talk about the next skin. So after showcasing that delicious looking jackhammer, what do we have right here in front of us? Why, that's a delicious looking Gingerbread SAR, produced by Mr. Heenon. Get a good look at this. Yes, very intricate details made with all the icing and whatnot, only making it even more tasty. And just to point out, you may recall we had the Gingerbread AK-47. So yes, of course, the SAR is a collection continuation. Now let's go ahead and give it a much closer look. And oh yes, as I said, the ever so tasty looking details with all the icing, the candy pieces. Oh, what an exquisite looking specimen this is. Yes. So, what do you think? Feel free to comment below. Now, of course, if I could just go to, yep, aim down, get a good look at that, night time. Yeah, doesn't glow in the dark, of course, but yep, during the day, give it a good look. Are you looking forward to this? Will this potentially be accepted? Because in general, there really weren't that many weapons and tool skins being produced for this year. So many deplorables, so many backpacks. So yeah, let's see if this has got a good chance. Alright, now let's go ahead and proceed to talk about the next skin. Next up, we have another SAR to showcase to you. This is the Snowy SAR produced by Delarai. Now, you may recall in the past we had another AK-47 skin that was the Snowy AK-47, and I can quickly point that to you right here, right now. Yes, it's right there. So, it's a bit weird. Gingerbread SAR, Snowy SAR, last skins to be accepted are AK-47s. Maybe both of them get accepted this year. Let's see. Delarai, a perfectly fine looking skin, and I'm going to go ahead and showcase it in-game right now. So, observe. Get a good look at that. Now, this one probably isn't that tasty compared to the previous one, but, you know, there's probably a lot less calories, but yeah, get a good look at that. Perfectly fine looking design. Now, let's go aim down, and as you can see, does it stand out quite nicely at night time? A little bit. I can see that snowflake, but, you know, just use a holosight. Anyway, snap. And let's observe the skin itself. Perfectly fine. Let's see if this gets accepted. Because as I said just a little bit earlier, there really weren't that many weapon skins being produced this year. Pretty much every single one of them has a good shot, but maybe the collection continuations a little bit more. So, with that, let's now proceed to talk about clothing and armor skins. So first up with the clothing and armor skins, here I have some Christmas leather gloves and some hide boots. Perfectly Santa themed, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to greatly appreciate that, because in this game, we do not have any Christmas themed boots and gloves like that at all. I'm aware of the reindeer boots from like good few years ago, but not like a proper pair. More specifically, there's no like Santa themed boots and gloves. There's no gingerbread boots and gloves. I'm surprised these skin creators don't produce them. But we do have a primitive set option right here, produced by Confusion. This is a collection continuation to the hide halterneck and hide skirt produced last year, and of course it was accepted. I will sit here with a reasonable bit of confidence. Yes, I do believe a lot of other skins will appreciate these boots and gloves potentially being accepted. I'm even looking at the Santa jacket from last year, the Christmas gang hoodie and pants. Yes, I do think people will be appreciating them. Now, let's go in game and give it a good look. So, I'm pairing this up with the hide halterneck and the skirt, of course. Let's get up close and look at the leather gloves. I mean, it's red and it's white and it's got stitching. Is there that much to say? That's all that we need. That's all that we need. So, let's see if these get accepted. Let's see if they get accepted and people appreciate them ever so much. A nice primitive set for Christmas time. Santa baby did. Right, let's move on and showcase the next skin. Time for backpacks. First up, we have the Gingerbread Backpack right here in front of us, looking ever so nice and tasty. Now, of course, I'm sure many of you are well aware of the Gingerbread collection we've had over the past few years. Not all the skins are seen in this collection for some strange reason. We don't see the tier 3 armor. So I'll quickly show that off to you on SCMM to APP. That's been rising up in price ever so nicely as we've been getting closer and closer to Christmas time. Now, let me just remind all of you of the past. 2 years ago, we got these hoodie and pants being accepted. Guess what happened when that happened? These went up to about $8. These rose up in price ever so nicely. That kilt went up to about $6, if I can recall. So will a backpack do the same? Because you might remember these sold a little bit too much compared to the rest of the set. But if we see a backpack, could all of this spike in demand, spike in price? All right, well, we're going to have to go ahead and give that a good look. Do people actively want to dress up in full gingerbread? Well, let me show you how tasty and delicious I look. Observe, people, the happy looking gingerbread backpack on display, covered in some chocolate and standard looking icing. Oh yes. And of course, as I pan around, you can see the full set, tier 3 with the kilt. I do need some boots and gloves. I did mention that earlier, didn't I? Milho Frito, I told you. That's just between me and him. But a backpack, perfectly fine. So, will that cause the clothing and armor to spike in price? We shall see. Will it get accepted? We shall see. Does it have a lot of competition? Yes. 21 skins in total. There's a lot A lot of options, but will we see the collection continuation? That's up to Face Punch. Right, so with that, let's now proceed to talk about another backpack skin. Yep, we've got another backpack right here. This is the Serious Center backpack. You may recall, in the past, we have seen some Tier 3 armor being accepted, as you can see, produced by Nullfoot and Mr. Jimmy Tedeschi. This skin, if it were to be accepted, with what I just said about the Gingerbread backpack, could it cause clothing and armor to spike in demand and spike in price? Well, let's go ahead and give this a good look in game. And it's got all the necessities Santa Claus needs. As you can see, we've got our little rocket here to the side, a Molotov, some grenades. He's a very happy Santa this year, I'm sure. The night Santa went crazy. The night St. Nick went insane. Whoa. But yeah, perfectly fine looking design. Serious Santa is going to shoot down everybody. You've been naughty? What a shame. So yeah, do you like the backpack? Feel free to comment below. And now let's proceed to talk about the next skins. And for our final skin set of this video, we have the Santa Tier 2. Now you may recall last year we had a Santa jacket being accepted. Of course, this is a collection continuation from that. Produced by Mr. Kosem. Let's go ahead and give this a good look. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how good and jolly this skin set happens to be. And yes, get a good look at that. Got all that nice little white cotton fluff on the sides. You got some, emergency candy canes on the side. Some stockings. Why would Santa have stockings on his armour? I'm just asking that, Mr. Kosem. What's all that all about? But I do like the coffee can design. It's just basically one giant beard. That's actually very clever and very cute. Right, so yeah, that's looking quite nice. But what if I just quickly paired it up with the jacket? Alright, yep, that's looking pretty cool. That's looking pretty nice. What do you reckon? Does the jacket blend in nicely with this Tier 2 armour? Well, obviously without the vest, as you can clearly see. But yeah, alright. So that happens to be the last collection continuation to discuss. Out of all the skins today, which one stood out to you the most? Which ones do you think have a genuine good chance of potentially being accepted for the upcoming Christmas rush stores? I'd love to see it if you commented below. And with that, let's tab out of here. Just to talk about some things that are currently going on. So, as we move over to here, I'm sure many of you are well aware that during this week we also happen to have some Twitch drops. Yep. So, of course, feel free to race after them. Watch all the people currently streaming. I would still recommend you focus on the Twitch Rivals ones when you can. They're not streaming all the time. Everyone else here, though, they're going to be streaming 24/7, 100%. So it's going to be super easy to get these skins. With that Twitch Rivals backpack and jacket skin, that might be a little bit harder because they only stream for a certain amount every day, but still a reasonable amount. So when they're on, focus them, and then when they're off, focus everybody else. It's very easy, very simple. Alright, and if you want to get a much better look at all of those Twitch rival skins, the Twitch drops to be precise, I do have a video showcasing all of them over to here. Everything is chaptered. If you only want to specifically look at a certain skin, it's all there. Also, I do some comparisons with the MP5, showcasing it in comparison with some previous Twitch drops with transparency. And yeah, cool. So that's basically a wrap. So just to reiterate, we're going to have 2 Christmas rush stores. Not sure how big they're going to be. I'd probably expect at least 10 skins per week out of 193 submissions. Yeah. And as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the actual items like the snow machine and the Christmas door wreath and the festive garlands, that probably won't be in this week's rush store, but it'll probably appear when they introduce the actual Christmas update. Now, if you go to SCMM.app, you'll notice that if you go to the items section, something new was added recently. It appears Ice Sculpture, as you can see right there, it's expected to potentially become a brand new item. So you know how we had the Dracula cape for Halloween? That appears to be something you have to buy to actually utilise in-game, which I guess is fine. How much is it going to cost? Start guessing, you tell me. And I also want to bring up, keep an eye on the commits. Interesting things are being mentioned again. Of course, we've seen another mention of the Night Armour DLC, but something else has been mentioned as well. As I scroll down, you'll see that they've also mentioned a special sheet metal double door, it seems. Is it armoured? Is it sheet metal? Is it wood? We don't fully know, but it says metal, so I'm guessing it's sheet metal. So, alright, cool. It appears on the horizon, with the primitive update, we're potentially going to get a very special DLC pack with some night armor, a special double door, anything else? We don't fully know yet, but we shall see. It can't be a gun, can it? So I'm guessing we might get like a special sword. Ooh, give us a longsword. We haven't had longsword skin in a very long time. It's been like 7 years, so anyway. Thank you very much for watching me today. I greatly appreciate it. And of course, next week, I won't be able to do this video again, but I'll probably showcase certain skins that are doing very nicely in terms of performance. If you were to look in the description right now, you'll see the link to micro522.com. Now, if I were to just quickly remove my search there, so I was looking for gingerbread stuff earlier, you can see all these skins with previews right there, but they all have scores as well. So these scores are dictated by upvotes to downvotes and of course favorites as well. I could show off the top 5 like I did with Halloween. I could also quickly grab all the people on my server to go do some bingo, and we'll see which skins get mentioned the most, and I'll showcase them as well, because I can't like to show off all the skins without reason. But with today, I at least pointed out, there's some collection continuations. Maybe you might want to consider investing into the collections beforehand. It's up to you, but at least you are informed of all of them, and maybe just want to buy some skins just to make your base look nice for Christmas time. And with that, thank you very much for watching me once again. Catch you later. See you, goodbye.